Hey, what's happening, Rangers? I'm Kwing, and it's time for another Power Rangers Battle for the Grid update exclusive. So behold the viewing globe. We've got a lot to cover. Now, as promised, I have some more info from the developers to share with all of you guys, because I've finally had a chance to sit down and talk to them, even though I've been incredibly busy with other projects. But first, check out the newest trailer if you haven't seen it already, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you just saw. Alright, first up, let's talk about Hit Stop. So the footage that you guys saw, or are seeing, is actually pre-alpha footage, or early in development footage. Nway had no plans to release another trailer after the leak until mid-February. The parent company, Hasbro, had other plans though, and the trailer was released literally a few hours before the community manager even knew what was happening. Because Hasbro loves you guys, and they wanted to show you something else for the game in action. I'm not gonna lie, the footage worries me a little bit too, but I know that this is a very, very early build. It's not really in the alpha stage, it's kind of before that. This is from a year or two ago. So, I mean, what you're seeing is not gonna be in the final product, don't worry about it too much. What will be in the game is the tag team mechanic. That is what they are going for, so very Marvel vs. Capcom, or rather Dragon Ball FighterZ, is what they're really basing this on. So there's going to be a lot of tag team mechanics, and it is going to be awesome. So try not to worry too much about the hit stop stuff. I'm sure we'll get more footage gameplay-wise in about a month or so. Now, a lot of you had serious questions about pre-orders, and this is what I learned. Right now, pre-orders are only through the website for the Switch, Xbox, and Steam. However, Sony has the game available for pre-order right now, but it will not feature crossplay because Sony can't play nice with others. Sorry, but that's the facts, Jack. Next, we discussed microtransactions and trophies, thanks to you guys. So microtransactions will be in Battle for the Grid. Just so you know, it's pre-industry standard, similar to all fighting game material these days. So Power Rangers has season passes for new characters and skins. Beyond that, we don't know what they're going to do, but trophies are a requirement, not because of the developer, but because of Sony. Alright, so the game story. Got a little bit more details, but not much because they're going to share more in February from what I hear. The game story is an original one done by the folks behind last year's Epic Ranger comic books, which were amazing. If you haven't read them, go read them. Though no other details can be discussed right now, my contact will update me when they're allowed to do so. So a lot of you people were asking me about the Megazords. Why didn't you discuss the Megazords? Well, this time I did, and this is what I learned, and it's actually pretty interesting what they had to say. So I will repeat what they said to me. Never count out the Megazords. Nway plans on constantly updating this fighter for long term, with new Rangers and stages, and Megazords could be a huge possibility later, but not right now. Now about the characters. Well, some of you might not like what you're going to hear next. I'm not really good at breaking bad news, so I'm just going to come out and say it. Since Battle for the Grid is a celebration of 25 years for the Power Rangers, this console game most likely will not feature full Ranger teams, and instead focus on a variety of different shows that have appeared during the 25 years of the Power Rangers. If you want to battle it out as the whole Mighty Morphin cast or the 2017 movie Rangers, play Legacy Wars, they're in it. Currently, the game will release with 15 characters featuring both Rangers and villains. Personally, the idea of not doing a full Ranger team doesn't really bother me, and I brought up some of your suggestions along with some of my own Rangers I'd like to see. Gold Ranger! So here are some of the Ranger shows that I brought up based on the questions you guys left on my previous video. I suggested In Space, Time Force, Operation Overdrive, Beast Morphers, Lightspeed Rescue, and White Ranger. Now, Nway knows how much I'm not a super fan of Tommy, but they were surprised after my personal suggestion for the Green Ranger. Alright, so I'm going to share something really funny with you guys, because this originally started as an off-the-record topic, and we talked about it for about 20 minutes. But I was like, look, I know you guys are going to add more Tommy into the game. just like you did with Legacy Wars. And I said, I have no problem with you doing that after Gold Ranger Power, but instead of doing what's been done with several Tommies, why not just have one Tommy that can use a Master Morpher? And my contact was just kind of like, yes! You know, he was like super excited about it. So I think Nway kind of liked my pitch. And I was explaining to him, like, you could think of him kind of like a Shang Tsung character from Mortal Kombat, or, you know, like a shapeshifter where he's able to change into different abilities. And we never got to see Zeo Ranger 5 in Legacy Wars, so there are a lot of people that like Zeo and wanted to see more Zeo love. And if you add Zeo Gold and then bring in Tommy, who can change into other Ranger forms, like White Mighty Morphin and Dino Thunder and Zeo, we wouldn't have him change into Green Ranger form because you already have 2 Green Rangers. You have version 2 superpowered beatdown Green Ranger, and then you have regular Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. So I told him not to include Green Ranger in the Master Morpher. That wouldn't make sense. If you want to toy around with a Turbo or something, go for it. But I think it would be a really neat addition, and it would be a great celebration of the 25 years of Rangers. And if they're not able to get full Ranger teams, like say Dino Thunder can't make it in, then you have a character that can do that plus Zeo. The interview went on for a little while longer, but I ended it with your questions that you guys left on my previous videos. So here we go. Can the Power Ranger voice actors reprise their characters, like Austin St. John as Jason, JDF Tommy, Amy Jo for Kimberly Skin, and Chihara as, of course, Megaforce, Yellow? Nway said, long pause, that's above my pay grade, so no comment. Just my 2 cents on this. Legacy Wars already has a great relationship with the OG Red Ranger, Gia, Tommy, and a few other Rangers, so I don't think it would be impossible for them to add voice acting. I just worry about the cost for doing so. Like, you have to pay the actors, and the price of the game is already very competitively cheap compared to a lot of other fighting games that are coming out in February through the spring. So I don't see them adding a lot of voice acting, but if they need somebody to do the grunts for Gold Ranger, I'm up for it. Brought up the Battleizers idea that some of you guys left, and if you guys don't know what Battleizers are, they are in some Power Ranger shows where the Red Ranger can transform and use a super ability. And their reasoning, the fans who wrote this, the reason they want Battleizers is because of Tommy's Super Dino mode in Legacy Wars. And when I kind of explained it to them, I didn't realize that I was actually pitching this idea. So originally they had no plans for the Battleizers. I don't know if they do now, but they wanted me to tell you guys that they appreciate your passionate comments, and they love this fan base. Custom character option, like most fighting games. A few people in my comments brought up this question about custom Ranger options. Not sure that it's something that would be on the priority list for Hasbro, just telling you flat out, but it's a really good idea, they said, and you never know. Demo. This was one that I also wanted to ask them, and I talked about this for some time, seeing all the possibilities for this, and right now it's a no. But it's in their minds now. While normal for many fighting games releasing later in the year or next to receive a beta, with Power Rangers arriving in spring of this year, that would be very tricky for them to get out in time before the full game releases. Unless, of course, you want them to delay the game, they joked, a year, and I said, no, no one wants that. Spark damage when the Rangers are hit, the firework explosion. Nway said, maybe? That wouldn't be too difficult to add, since the game is still in development. To my knowledge, personally, there's no Power Ranger game that really has utilized this, except for maybe a few Super Sentai games that have not made their way over to the States, even though I have them, for the Wii. I think they would be a cool addition to the game and work in tandem with the whole 25-year celebration nostalgia. And they joked on the phone and they told me, Luke, are you fishing for your name to be added in the special thanks sections for all these great ideas? I said, yes! If Gold Ranger Zeo could be confirmed for the next character reveal in February. And they said, Gold Ranger is very popular, he may make it in. And I'm like, touché, Nway. My final question to Nway had them saying, we need to do this. I don't know how, but we need to do this. What was my last question? Are you sitting down? Should I do a cliffhanger? Should I just end the video now? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna tell you. Vulcan Skull need to be in this game as a tag team duo, fighting Rangers and monsters. Yes. So, I've actually heard fans asking about both characters separately in Legacy Wars for some time, and even on Battle for the Grid's Twitter. There are some people saying Vulcan Skull should be in this game. And I believe the actors even said they would love to see their characters in the game, but I think that these characters would work very well as a tag team, similar to what we saw with Videl and Gohan in the current DLC for Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 2. I thought it would be really funny and exciting to have Vulcan Skull as a tag team duo doing all their wacky stuff, and you guys can feel free to come up with their moves, but for the skins, which is going to be a big thing in this game, different Rangers are going to have skins. I said I would love to see Officer Vulcan Skull, Superhero Vulcan Skull, and Gladiator Vulcan Skull from Zeo. And there you go. That pretty much wraps up my interview. This was a little lengthy, but I hope you guys had fun listening to it. I have a follow-up interview sometime in February, so write some more questions or suggestions you want me to share with the development team, as well as my source. And just to prove my credibility to some of the skeptics watching this, a new character is coming to Power Rangers Legacy Wars in the middle of February. And you will never guess who it is. But if you stop playing the game or just don't care, I'll be showcasing the new character here on this channel. So on release day, I got you covered. And that's it, that's all, folks. If you want to help me out, if you find out any of this exclusive juicy details on another YouTuber's video without citing me as a source for fun, I want you to write, "Hey, that was a K exclusive, Gold Ranger power," or something like that. Curious to see what would be the result of that. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Check out more daily uploads of Kingdom Hearts today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will be back with more Ranger news, whether it's Power Rangers Legacy Wars or Battle for the Grid, very soon. Until we meet again, Rangers, God bless and happy gaming. May the power protect you.